It's the Hard Hitting Podcast, covering everything New Britain sports. Now here's Jeff Testanero. Welcome to this episode of the Hard Hitting Podcast, part of the Hardware City Sports Network. I am Jeff Testanero, and I would like to invite you to share this podcast, since we are on every single podcast platform on Earth. We're on every single podcast platform on Earth. It's really hard to, imagine somebody not downloading or sharing this, since we're on every single podcast platform on Earth. Just letting you know. If you're watching on YouTube, I invite you to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you to those who already have, but hey, the more the better, right? No video this week. I'm a bit under the weather, and I look like total crap. But we'll be back next Monday, with a video following the Blue Devils AIC game. We'll break that down. Today, we're going to do a rundown of the Blue Devils football matchup Saturday versus AIC. But first, we're going to start with other Blue Devils scores from this past week. 2 matchups for the CCSU Blue Devils to count. Start with men's soccer. CCSU men's soccer lost 1-0 at UConn. Not really the best way to start things, but, stuff happens. UConn's just got their number, I guess. Men's cross country, the Father Beatty Invitational. CCSU's top Harrier Rodriguez won the men's 6K race. Remarkably, CCSU runners occupied the top 4 individual spots, showcasing the team dominance. Good week. Good week for the Blue Devils. Everything going well, except for the football last Saturday against UConn. But it's a new weekend. It's a new game. It's time to move on with ourselves. So we're going to break down the last matchup between AIC and CCSU in football, which happened September 2nd, 2 years ago. And then we're going to highlight and look forward to what you have to look forward to this coming Saturday up at the campus in New Britain. CCSU, AIC. Gonna be an interesting one. September 2nd, 2023, CCSU faced off against American International College, AIC as you know them, up in New Britain. The Blue Devils, in the last matchup, delivered a dominant performance, winning 44-0. 44-0 was the final score the last time these two teams met. First quarter, Jake Barnum opened the scoring with a 48-yard field goal. CJ Duell drew a 19-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Williams. Second quarter, Isaiah Howard powered a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Barnum added a 31-yard field goal. Duell connected with Pat Marsh Jr. on a 20-yard touchdown pass. And Barnum closed the first half with a 45-yard field goal. The fourth quarter of the last time these two teams faced, Malik Thomas punched a 2-yard rushing touchdown. Cortez Williams capped it off with a 6-yard rushing touchdown. Team stats, nothing from AIC apparently. As I just pointed out, they lost 44-0 to the Blue Devils. CCSU tallied 528 yards, while AIC managed just 158 yards in their matchup back in 2023. CCSU's DJ Duell, obviously no longer with the team, compiled 17 of 25 passes for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. AIC's quarterback was 9 for 25, only 65 yards through the air. CCSU's Malik Thomas had 13 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. AIC's Cone led the ground attack with 16 carries for 70 yards. Pretty even, but the Blue Devils defense kept them out of the end zone. Always dominant. Very nice. Very nice. Receiving yards. CCSU's Devon Johnson had 6 receptions for 103 yards. Cohn, 3 receptions for 33 yards. First downs, CCSU had 26, while AIC managed only 11. Possession, the ball was split relatively evenly. CCSU had around 31 minutes and 12 seconds. AIC about 28 minutes and 48 seconds. It was the first game for Adam Lechenberg as head coach of the Blue Devils. The team responded with a commanding victory. So it was a nice opener. This is a nice way to celebrate a 2-year anniversary for Coach. Hopefully the Blue Devils can pull it out and get a little more in there this time around. CCSU dominated both phases of the game the last time these two teams faced off. Offense and defense, efficient passing, strong rushing, and a smothering defense. They shut out AIC 44-0 for their season opener back in 2023. Will it be the same this time around? Will it be different this time around? Has AIC learned its lesson this time around? We shall see. It's going to happen tomorrow, actually, since today is Friday. Up in New Britain. Going to be a good game. Hopefully, the Blue Devils had some productive practices as a team this week after getting completely shelled by UConn last week. Hopefully, they've tweaked a few things, learned a few things. Get some more ground running from Howard, get some more balls through the air. Obviously, defense always wins ball games, and the defense last weekend just didn't show up for the Blue Devils when UConn just trounced the hell out of them. So the defense needs to shore up for AIC this weekend. They need to come out. They need to come out ready to play. Defense wins ball games. That's just really the skinny of it, man. Defense wins ball games, period. Defense wins baseball games. Defense wins hockey games. Defense wins basketball games. If you're not stopping them on defense in any sport, they're just going to run all over you. That's just the way it is, especially in football. Basketball, you got to play 2 ways. Baseball, you're playing 2 ways. Hockey, you're playing 2 ways. Football, it's 2 completely different squads. 2 completely different squads. Howard's not going to run back and try to stop the rush. Howard's not going to run back and play linebacker for you. Offense and defense in football. Football is really the only sport that I can think of, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think. Even in soccer, you're playing 2 ways. Football's really the only sport I can think of where the offense and the defense is 2 completely separate animals that need to run in cohesion. If the defense isn't stopping people, the offense has a harder job coming out. If the offense isn't doing anything against the other team's defense is going to win the game. You can't win if you don't score points, but you can't win if the other team puts up points as well. You see it all the time. This is what the Blue Devils really need to focus on Saturday against AIC. They really need to focus on the defensive fundamentals, stopping the run, stopping the pass, making the quarterback nervous, putting the quarterback under pressure. You got to keep the AIC quarterback under pressure. He needs to be under pressure the whole game. The whole game. 2025, we're back. AIC, CCSU, they're back. It's been a 2-year gap. 2025 outlook For the Blue Devils, as you know, entering their home opener at 0-1, following that lopsided loss to UConn, 59-13. Despite that, they remain the present preseason favorite to win the Northeast Conference. The Blue Devils are still the favorites to win the conference. Elijah Howard is the big offensive weapon for the Blue Devils. Dynamic FBS transfer from 2024, NEC Offensive Player of the Year, brings explosive playmaking from both rushing and the receiving positions. He can catch the short screen pass. He can run it up the middle. He can run it around the side. This kid can do anything. Wadley, the 2023 NEC Offensive Player of the Year, transferred from Merrimack, expected to return to form after an injury May 2024. Marsh, Pitts, add depth, safety valve options for the passing game for CCSU. Brady Olson's the quarterback this time around. He's experienced but needs efficiency improvement. 2024, he threw for 2,239 yards, 17 touchdowns, but also struggled with interceptions and completion rate. Something you need to fix. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be remedied, and hopefully they remedied that on the practice field this past week. You can't go out there and lay another egg, especially against a team who you shut out 44-0 the last time you two faced. CCSU is still the favorite to win the conference. CCSU is still favored to win that conference. To do that, you need to win football games. You can't let a team like Rhode Island come in and run away with it. Now, through week one, the offensive stats, they average about 257 total yards per game, 128 on the ground, 129 passing, but just put up 13 points per game. You need more offensive yardage than that. It was a good balanced attack. Let's just look on the positive here. Out of those 257 total yards, 128 came on the ground, 129 came through the air, but you put up just 13. You need to break that up. You need more efficiency in your offense. You need to find that end zone. You need to find that end zone. Game one, Brady Olson, 8 for 19, 118 yards. You need to find the end zone. You really, really, really do. On the flip side, the AIC Yellow Jackets, their 2025 outlook, this is their season opener. This is their first game of the season. They don't have any competition under their belt. They're looking to come in and make a statement. Don't think that the coaching staff of the Yellow Jackets and the athletic staff of the Yellow Jackets forgot about what happened last time they came to New Britain. Don't think the Yellow Jackets staff and any returning players forgot about what happened last time the Yellow Jackets and the Blue Devils faced off in New Britain. Don't think they forgot, because they didn't. AIC is a Division II NE10 team. It remains to challenge a tough FCS opponent on the road. The tough FCS opponent would be the Blue Devils. They are under a conference shift, undergoing updated NE10 scheduling formats, but still outside the FCS level. No official team or individual stats are available that I could find entering this matchup, but why would they be? This is their first game of the season. So this is where you got a Division II school coming in, facing Division I. Can't sleep on it. You can't sleep on it, and hopefully the Blue Devil coaching staff and players are not sleeping on this. What to watch for? Offensive versus offensive. CCSU offense struggles for rhythm after the UConn loss, but they do feature elite level skill players like Howard and Wadley. They are capable, both are capable of explosiveness. I really think we're going to see a big ground game from Howard on Saturday against the Yellow Jackets. I really think they're going to pull this one through. Olsen needs to take better care of the football. Brady Olsen needs to take better care of the football and leverage his weapons efficiently. I hate to throw everything on Olsen, but he is the quarterback of this team. He is the field general of this team. And he needs to take better care of the football. I said, I think I think Howard's going to have a big game. I do. But Olsen's got to put it through the air. He's going to have to throw the football at some point. Start small, grow big. A few quick passes. A few outside passes down the sideline. Start to get a rhythm, and then go for a big pass. Don't fall behind. If they fall behind to AIC, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I know you're saying AIC is a D2 school. It doesn't matter. It's football is football. It happens on the field. CCSU competes at the FCS level. They do compete against tougher competition, which does give them an on-paper edge over a Division II school like AIC. Like UConn is in a much different level in the FBS than CCSU is. So maybe that intimidated them. Maybe that intimidated the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils did go into the Rent in East Hartford with the largest crowd for UConn football since 2013. So maybe that intimidated them. So maybe AIC coming into New Britain. Pack that field, by the way. If you're in the New Britain area tomorrow around noon, get your butt to the campus, get your butt to the field, and go cheer on the Blue Devils. Let's scare the hell out of AIC. CCSU, 100%, and don't tell me they don't. CCSU wants redemption after that game against UConn. And hopefully, and I can't make any promises, but hopefully after today's episode, I can get off the UConn game. That's only if they come out dominant against AIC. They want redemption. The Blue Devils need redemption after that heavy season opener, that heavy loss in East Hartford, while AIC aims to make a statement on the road and set a positive tone early in their campaign. If AIC comes in and actually performs on the same level as the Blue Devils, if they give the Blue Devils a serious run for their money on the field, I don't care what the ending score is. If it's close on the scoreboard, if the competition is fierce and tough, and AIC gives the Blue Devils a run for their money, if they match well against the Blue Devils, I don't care if the Yellow Jackets lose or not. If they get a moral victory over the Blue Devils, I'm not sure how CCSU is going to respond for the rest of the season. I'm really not. So the Blue Devils have to come out early. They have to set the tone. They have to punch AIC as hard as they can in the mouth, score an opening drive touchdown, and keep the foot on the gas pedal. Keep them on their backsides. Keep them guessing. Come out, score. Come out, score. Stop them, score. Stop them, score. That first half will be telling for the Blue Devils against a Division II Yellow Jackets. I honestly don't care if the Blue Devils win on Saturday. If the Yellow Jackets keep up with them and get a moral victory, I'm not sure where the Blue Devils go from there. The CCSU Blue Devils have to come out strong and hard and have to start it. So head on down and give these boys some support. So, well, that's all we have for this episode of the Hard Hitting Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Don't forget to download episodes. If you subscribe on any podcast platform you're on, since we are on every single podcast platform on the planet Earth, you will get an update when a new episode becomes available. So, go ahead and do it. Audio podcast, like I said, available on every podcast platform on Earth. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll be back with a video version next week to companion our audio podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And let's push HCSN up. So with that, for the Hard Hitting Podcast, I'm Jeff Testanero. I'll see you Monday. The Hard Hitting Podcast is a member of the Hardware City Sports Network.